Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself for political fireworks between Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto. And I think from now to the next general election, this matter, I don't think is going to end. Today, William Ruto was meeting some milk stakeholders in Nakuru, State House in Nakuru. A very critical meeting that is touching into something that Rigathi Gachagua was actually tasked to do. And that was the milk, coffee, and tea sector. One man, Rigathi Gachagua, disappeared from that event. And if you look at these photos, you could see leaders were there, even the agriculture CS, including the governor, and even David Ndii, the economic advisor. But if you just think, you might still want to argue that he was engaged. So I want to show you where Rigathi was. Not very far from Nakuru. And if you want to know that he did it intentionally, Rigathi Gachagua was in Narok, Narok West. From Narok to Nakuru is a very short distance. Of course, hata hatumii gari. So by ndege is a place he can just go and come. And the event he was attending was the launch of, I just need to show you, with the launch of the Constituency Strategic Plan 2023-2027, Narok West has today started on right footing to deliver people-centered development under the national government Constituency Development Fund. So Rigathi Gachagua skipped the President's State House meeting on the milk with the milk stakeholders to attend the launch of a constituency strategic plan. If you just think that is the problem, then you're getting it wrong. I want you to listen to two speeches. One by Nimrod Mbai. This was outright intentional. Outright intentional, and they went there with already some scripts. You know, where would he pick the Kitui East Member of Parliament? You may need to ask, you may need to know. Number two, I'm also speaking, I also wanted to listen to Dan Wanyama, the Oduor Member of Parliament from Bungoma, who also echoed supporting Rigathi Gachagua on the issue of shareholding.
Simambo iko namna hiyo. Naibu wa Rais, nikimalizia, nataka kuambia kama kiongozi wa UDA, mimi nilichaguliwa kwa chama ya UDA, na mimi niko nyuma yako kwa kuambia watu ukweli. Ile mfumo tunataka kuanza, karibu tutapotosha wale watu waliotupigia kura. Nataka kusema hivi na niweze kurudia kwamba kama watu hawakupiga kura vizuri, wacha tuangalie na jicho moja. Wale watu waliopiga vyema kura kama Narok West, waangalie na macho yote mbili kwa pamoja. Hatutakubali hii mtindo ya kusema unaenda kuangalia watu wale hawakuwa na kura, alafu baadaye tena watapotea, alafu tuanze kuhangaika. Kwa hivyo, Naibu wa Rais, sisi tuko na wewe pamoja. Mambo ya shares ni ukweli wa mambo, na wewe simamia hapo. Kama share yako ilikuwa kidogo, pata kidogo. Kama share ilikuwa mingi, pewa yote.
And so, I am one person that have been doing political analysis for some time, and I've worked in political desks. Politicians, this is how politicians operate. Sometimes it's not about Rigathi to speak, but you can still deliver this information, but you still want the receiver to know that I'm the one that has authored it. You speak it in my absence. So those two MPs spoke on the presence of Rigathi Gachagua. And if you want to know that before people go to the podium, there is normally a brief. So they agree, you will talk about this, you will talk about this, you will talk about this, so that kila mtu anajipanga. Now, Rigathi Gachagua spoke in that event and never mentioned anything about that stakeholding thing for the first time. He veered off from mentioning the political discourse going on. But those two leaders decided to frame William Ruto, and of course insinuating that William Ruto is betraying Rigathi Gachagua by probably quoting Raila Odinga. Now that is the new narrative coming. And I can tell you, it is not something that is so much looked into achieving, Rigathi is just telling William Ruto something, that head on, as you bash me, I'm also trying to pick. There are also those who support me. And I want to believe between the Narok West constituency event and the State House meeting in Nakuru, surely Rigathi Gachagua was supposed to be in Nakuru attending the meeting. I decided to keep off. Now, from those two sound bites, there is something that is going on. Rigathi Gachagua has a plan. And according to me, the plan is very disastrous. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. We are also opening spaces for advertising, so reach out to us. We shall release out some advertising spaces for you so that we can do in-mention. As this brand grows, you also grow your brand. Rigathi Gachagua's plan is this: consolidate leaders who have been pushed out of the president's table. I don't remember when last that Nimrod Mbai even sat next to William Ruto. This is the MP who was captured in some video beating some KPL, Kenya Power staff, because of connection of electricity in his house. I think that was around Kitengela. So, what Rigathi is saying, it is indeed true that even after forming government, common practice is the president's circle has to reduce. And in reducing that president's circle, and I remember Mimi, this bold, saying that president needed to reduce his circle. After that, when that circle reduces, there are those who are privileged that will remain in the nuclear. There are those who will get themselves in Pluto, the planets. It's like a planet. So there are those who are in Venus, but there are those who will find themselves in Jupiter and Pluto. So that is what is happening. What Rigathi Gachagua has ensured is that politicians that feel left out of the president's table will easily resonate with what Rigathi is saying. And so what he's doing, he's consolidating them. And the big question is, what is the end goal? Consolidating them to where? Does he have a direction for them? we are going to find out that in whether this strategy is going to work. That is the first strategy. Second strategy is to shift blames on William Ruto, especially visit areas that have been left out or that have little government attention. It's true, there is state and government, they are saying that government can't be everywhere. You can't develop every school in areas that, it can't be. It's not realistic. So what Rigathi is doing, and of course, what Rigathi is doing, is going to those areas that have little government development, away from government, and trying to tell them that, look here, President is in Nyanza, he's spending 5 days in Nyanza and taking development in areas that never voted for him, and maybe you guys here, you lack roads. And this is a very old, tired political narrative that they used against Uhuru Kenyatta. I remember when Rigathi went to Nyeri and told, I think that was Kenyan, and was saying that some budget, Kanini Kega was the head of budget committee, and there was some money that was set aside for road construction in Kieni that were diverted to Nyanza, simply to tell the people that, Uhuru got confused and even took money that was supposed to help Mount Kenyans to Nyanza. Well, that was not the truth. I was in Mount Kenya, I was in Nyeri, and someone told me there, and even that video, if you watch that video to the end, was telling me that when Uhuru came to power, before he came to power in 2012, there was no even 1 kilometer of tarmac road in Kieni. But by the time he was leaving, almost every road there was actually tarmacked. So that is the strategy. Consolidate those who are not with the president's table because they feel disgruntled. But at the end of the day, also go to those areas. Look at Narok West. You know, that's a place that you know very well. I don't remember when last did president go there. You know. Now, will this strategy work? My answer is no. This one will fail because of these two reasons. Remember, the objective is to consolidate leaders around him. What Rigathi wants is to consolidate those leaders that can sing who Ruto is betraying us, to consolidate around Rigathi Gachagua, so that he projects himself as the messiah of government, as the truthful man who is telling William Ruto the truth. Now, what he wants these leaders to consolidate around him. You know the problem here? William Ruto is already pulling a nationalist card on him. Yes. He's pulled. The moment he pulls a nationalist card, you know, there's been no relevance. And let me tell you, let me just ask. This Nimron Bai evolved through UDA. And I know, I really have a guess that the person that came second to him could be Wiper or Jubilee. Or let's imagine Wiper. So if he denied UDA ticket and he doesn't get Wiper ticket, will he even get that seat? No. So all these fellows will still, the William Ruto, and is forgetting, and that is why I think I'm really putting together. William Ruto is not Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta was a pampered prince. He was not a man who would, there are quite a number of things that will not bother him. He will not get, was not very petty. William Ruto is the person that will campaign against you. Rigathi akianza, William Ruto will go to Nyeri and campaign against Rigathi in Nyeri. And so it will fail because Ruto is so much interested in politics compared to Uhuru, who was just keeping quiet and just smiling from State House. Number two, now, you are spending a lot of time telling people that Ruto is betraying Rigathi by spending a lot of time in Nyanza, and that there is a possibility that Raila and Uhuru maybe are taking William Ruto from Kenya Kwanza. But, so you want to create some enmity between those who subscribe to Kenya Kwanza and Raila Odinga. It deemed to fail. How about if you do that for the next 4 years, then Raila fails to vie? It's possible. Someone else has picked. So all that work you've been doing, you'll go back to the drawing board. It is very clear, ladies and gentlemen, that we are still going to have more dramas. I think it has just started. We are still going to have a lot of this. Thank you.